Recording in progress.
Could we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Before we get started, I want just turn that.
You can't turn that sideways. The public can't hear you publicly. You're going to shut the volume off on your microphone on your computer.
I did. I shut it off. All right, we did it again. Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, so I just need to read this real quick. We want to say welcome to everyone on the snowy day coming out. We'd like to get started, so I just have a small interest in reading here. Is in accordance with the requirement of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and broadcasted live over the Lunenburg Public Access channel on Facebook Live on the Public Access Facebook page, and will be uploaded to the Lunenburg Access YouTube after the meeting. This meeting will be held in person at the location provided on this notice. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will be suspended or terminated if technical, logical problems interrupt the broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public will particularly interest to any specific items on the agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. A member of the public who wishes to record a meeting must first notify the chair and must comply with the reasonable requirements regarding audio or video equipment established by the chair so as not to interfere with the meeting. The chair is required to inform other attendees of each of these recordings at the beginning of the meeting. If someone arrives after the meeting has begun and wishes to record the meeting, the person should attempt to notify the chair prior to the beginning recording, initially at the manner that does not significantly disrupt the meeting in progress. The chair should endeavor to acknowledge such attempts at notification and announce the fact of any recording to these in attendance. The agenda lists all the topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those responsible anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for the discussion to extent permitted by the open meeting law. Public participation is encouraged, and public comments may be welcomed during committee member discussions at the discretion of the chair. Please note during public comment that you have 3 minutes to give your public comment. Thank you. So I think what we're going to do first is we're going to review and approve the minutes from the January 9th, 2025 meeting. Does everybody have a copy of that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me when you're finished looking at it, or if you've already have.
I've reviewed them.
I did.
Okay. All right.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of Thursday, January 9th.
I second the motion to approve the minutes for January 9, 2025. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passed. All right, and we have Bill here as a DPW director to discuss updates and discussions, including approved and in progress projects.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. So because of the snow, the
driveways, roadways within these cemeteries have been closed. We have a few inquiries about burials for the spring. Nobody's requested to do a burial in the winter. And there's actually no bodies in the mausoleum, right? Nobody's requested that. We plan to advertise very shortly for the seasonal cemetery laborers, with the hope to get them in place well before Memorial Day. I'm hoping that the couple of gentlemen we had last summer come back. They worked out very good, so I'm hoping they come back. As soon as it's advertised, we will reach out to them. And that's about it. It's been a quiet winter, cemetery-wise, anyway.
I'm sorry. What-
It's been quiet regarding cemeteries over
Right,
the winter. So,
right.
Yeah.
You've had enough, I'm sure, to deal with the snow and getting the roads done.
It's been rather busy with
Yes.
snow.
Okay, is there anything, Mike, that you want to go over?
Let's see here, I'm just looking at if it's on the rest of the schedule. We did have several open items that we had approved funding for, the skirt at the South Cemetery and the installation of lights. So is that on the plan for the spring?
Yes, yeah, obviously we can't do it now, so we can do that in the spring.
Okay,
We had voted on that,
yes.
correct?
Yeah.
We voted and approved funding, and so it's
Is
just,
it scheduled to, let's say the lights, first of all, is that scheduled to get done at a certain time in the spring, or
I don't have a
have you
date
not
yet.
contacted them yet, or?
Yeah, I don't have dates yet for any of the work.
So will the cost be the same as what we were quoted? That's what
I'll have to check on that, yeah. Recheck on cost, yeah.
okay,
Hopefully, I think they'll stay the same,
okay,
but it's good to recheck.
okay. So is there any more projects that we had talked about? that-
Well, the one in South Cemetery, it's been going on for a year now,
The skirt.
skirt. Is there any date set for that in the spring to continue, or?
No dates yet, right? We got to wait for the snow to go away and
Well,
the
yeah.
ground to thaw a little bit, so we got time.
okay, so do you still have to pick a contractor for each job too?
Yeah, we have contractors in mind for both,
Okay,
yeah.
Has it gone out to bid?
No, well, it's under $10,000.
So it doesn't have to go out to
It
bid?
doesn't technically have to go out, so.
Okay. So when I'm just trying to get an idea how this is working. So when the snow goes, let's say April 25th, you're then going to call the contractor you think is the best one and get them over there.
Correct, right. We'll do it before then, the snow, right? Try to get on their schedule
Okay.
early and get it done.
I'm just want to make sure it's done this year.
Oh, absolutely.
So do you think a possibility we can get it done before Memorial Day? I guess that's our thought. Is that a reasonable?
I think that is very reasonable, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That would be great. Okay. Is there anything else, Mike, that you want?
no, that's it.
That's it, okay. So we're going to jump in, and do you have, each of you have looked at the cemetery balances. Do you want to see that?
Thank you.
So what I did is, on this agenda, and we can talk about it, what I did is I put 3 different items that we need to talk about. Now, the numbers of these, as far as the 50K for the capital item for the North Cemetery expansion, the 50K for the cemetery road network repairs, and I put funding source as just as a reminder to me. And so just to bring everybody up to light on that, I was able to speak with the town manager, Jennifer, And we talked about where the sources were coming from and also the 10,000 transfer from the sale of lots account. So on each piece, I want to make a motion to vote how we're going to do this. But I want to bring up that I also went and I spoke with Ezekiel as the director of the finance here in the town. And we talked about business sense as far as the good business sense, best practices. And so here's where we're at. The sale of lots, which is the fund, the 8115, we have $94,394.66 in that account. This is where each year, if that's what we decide, if again the committee decides, that's where you take the $10,000 out, if that was the amount that you were going to take out of. The strongest piece, I think, I'm going to bring up again, that many years ago with the Cemetery Commission, there was a time that they unfortunately had gotten into the red, and that's just never going to happen again. It can't happen again, number one. So with that being said, I think cautiously we need to think about, again, how much money do we really need to do a project? Right now, under the capital article funding that the cemetery has, we have $10,606.61 available at this point in time. So you ask yourself, do we really need to take another $10,000 out of the sale of lots to put into that capital article? Or are we okay for right now and we really don't need to do that? If we decide not to, which is very simple, we'll make a motion to pull the article from the warrant article, and we will not go through with getting additional $10,000. If you also look down at the cemetery perpetual care interest, we have $20,078.27. So if, again, there was a project, let's say, Bill, yours came up super high for whatever reason, or it has changed, we also have that ability from that 10.6 plus another 20,000 if that's what needed to happen, if that's what the committee decided. You know, keeping the money in the sale of lots is not a bad idea because, again, to try to get as much interest as we can out of it each year. And from my understanding, we're getting about $4,000, $4,500 a year in that perpetual care. As, you know, as the principal comes in and then we can take the interest out of it. So it's safe to take, again, if you were to take out of the sale of lots, $20,000, $25,000 at the absolute most. But anything over that, I don't think it's a good business sense to do. That's just my opinion on it. That is my recommendation as far as chair. And I think the best part is what I heard from, you know, the finance director, is that they are looking at recommendations, that there's a task force that's going to be looking at all of this to say, where can we get the most bang for our money? You know, what is that going to do? And I believe, Michael, you were the one that brought that up when you very first came on, that you'd like to see the town do something so we can, you know, get as much money as we can as far as interest in going forward, which is the right thing to do. And I think there is going to be a deep dive diagnostic audit that is going to be done, what it looks like the task force is trying to do. And that's for in the future, which is a good thing. So that's why I wanted Ezekiel to basically print all of this off so I could explain it, so you could understand it. Again, the cemetery perpetual care principle, obviously, we have $219,000 that can never be spent down. Again, that is the principle. We get the interest from that, and then we can take each year or what the timing for the different projects we can take out of that. Are there any questions or concerns?
I think we need to, and that's why we talked about what's going on this year. We need your opinion of, you know, what the cost was going to be if we did the skirt and the electricity last year. would it go up 10%? Would it go up 5% this year? And then we need to find out if that's, how much is left over from our budget once we spend that. Is there any, and if there's anything else that we have going on this year? That's what my thoughts would be right now. So is it going to, do you think 5 or 10% based on other costs?
Yeah, I don't see it going up more than that. It's probably going to be the same.
Probably going to be the same.
I will get new numbers or revised numbers.
And that, do you have what that cost was for both right there?
I don't have it in front of me, sorry.
Okay.
Do you have the cost at all, what he had stated in the past? Do you have that?
Oh, right, yes. We authorized for, that hasn't been expended is $3,500 for the apron, and we authorized $650 for the lights. And we also authorized in May $500 for flower plantings. So we had a total authorized of $44,650 that has not been expended.
Okay,
So that would have to come off of the
10-6.
10.6
Yep.
or the 20,000.
yep,
We have 30,684, but if we take that non-spent 4,650, we got 26,000 left. So I think we have,
where's the 30?
the,
Where's the 30 you just,
the 30 is the
20 and the,
oh, the 30
capital
total?
fund
The
of
total,
10K,
okay.
600,
I
and
got
the
you.
perpetual
Yeah.
care at 20K.
So we got enough to cover expenses?
Yeah, and we have the non-spent liability of 4,600,
Right,
4,650.
okay.
Yeah, I know, that's
So we're still at 26K
why we went with that. We shop around.
Yes,
available
okay,
this year.
And just so everybody knows, again, this does not have to go, the only thing that has to go through town meeting is a warrant article, which would be if we're going to take additional 10,000 out of the sale of lots. Other than that, we can pull from this amount, and it does not have to go in front of that piece as far as a town meeting.
Right.
So,
and if we have to go into it, we go into November, is that?
you could, if something happened, let's say the prices were really off and we needed, or there was another project that we weren't thinking of, then it would go into, you could then ask for it in November. So it's not like it can't be there eventually if
Right.
that's what you needed at that point in time. I'm going to make the recommendation, my recommendation is that we do not take this out and that we basically, that we pass and we pull the article.
Right,
We pull the article from the warrant.
yeah,
And this is why we needed to vote on this, is because Jennifer, and again, the town manager needs this information to give back so we know what we're, you know, what they're doing.
I think we got enough to cover us for this year, unless there's a big expense that
Right.
comes through.
And then we'll still
And
have
then
some if we needed to do
Right.
something for the DPW.
So
So
you make the motion,
I'd like to make a motion
ahead.
that we do not, that we pull the article from the warrant of that $10,000 and that we, again, we just pull the article. So make a motion to, if we're all in agreement.
I'll second it.
All right, Dave seconds it, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Okay. All right, so we've done that one. Oh, let me go, and thank you for that. I think we've done the right thing with that. Now, the other one I'm going to hit on, and again, because I don't know what the true cost is, I only put the cost there of $50K for the North Cemetery expansion, only because that's what I had on my draft. But it sounds like there might be another one out there, so we're just going to say, if we're going forward with the expansion, that will be coming out of capital planning. That will not be our money. It will be coming out of the capital planning budget. and it will need to go through that piece, which is, again, whatever the amount is. I think what we'd like to do is I'd like to, again, recommendation, make a motion, again, that we thank the capital planning for, putting that in there, the town manager, the interim town manager Carter, for having this in, and Jennifer, who's seeing it through, that is definitely coming from the capital planning side. Is there any discussion that you want to discuss about that? I think
that will cover the initial surveying and layout, and, does that cover the whole thing from start to finish?
It's hard to say without having design plans.
Right.
My hope is it will cover everything, right? The design plans and the construction. But,
we've already surveyed it.
right,
So the survey's been done, Mike.
Right.
So we don't have to do that. It's
right. So then the next step would be design plans, and then we'll put a contract together and see what the cost of construction will be.
Didn't we get a price from, what's the company?
Powell's?
No, the
Just-
site plan. Didn't we get a price already for that to be done?
To
She's
do
talking
the
about
design,
Tillis and Roy.
Tillis and Roy, to do
Right.
the design?
Yeah, it was like 40,
Yeah, I believe he did give
Yeah, it
us.
was
45
40-something plus a contingency for
Right.
meetings. But that's been, is the survey an initial survey, or is that survey?
No, we did an initial survey.
Yeah.
That's
And we
all
paid.
paid for.
yeah, we did that
Okay,
a while ago. So that's all paid for.
okay.
It's this this is the next piece, the next
Yeah,
project
the
piece.
design plans, okay.
I think the only thing I wanted to ask, Bill, is where are we with exactly, how many more do we have left for the North Cemetery that are available now for plots? Do we absolutely know what that number is?
I do not.
Okay. So, again, my only conservative way of thinking, is this the right timing to open this up now?
I believe it is, yeah. We definitely know the number's under 100, right, between north and south.
Okay.
Do almost 40 a year, sometimes less, sometimes a little more. So, yeah, so we have 2 years, maybe 3. I don't think we should wait that long, right? I think we should be prepared. And we already know people want to go into the new area, so
Right,
I recommend moving forward now.
okay. That is my only reason, like I said, is being conservative. That's the only reason, is to when is the best timing. You are correct. You know, you don't want to wait until the last second.
Right.
You want to have things ready. I know there are several people that have just stopped us, both of us, regarding they would like to be in that new section once it's put down, once we know how it's going to go. And again, we have the direction where it's supposed to go as far as east and west.
Yeah,
No,
the
north and south, yeah.
the orientation of the headstones, yeah.
Okay. So I know that was a big, talking point.
Can we get a definite number, even though we're going to go through with this now? Can we get a definite number by next meeting of how many are left open plots? I mean, this is winter time, so the superintendent's already working on doing that.
Yeah, definitive number, it's hard to say. I can work on it. I don't know if I'll have a definitive number for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we feel, again, bringing this up again, that without the number amount, because we really don't know without having that actual final plan from the capital planning, that we will make a motion to move forward, that we agree that, that the capital plan will take out X amount of dollars to start the North Cemetery expansion? I make a motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So then the next piece is, again, the same point which is, we don't know what the number amount is. Bill, do you believe that that number, or what is your thought for the number for the road work?
So when I submitted my request to capital planning, sorry,
No.
I had $225,000, and that was to repave all the roads in the North Cemetery. The interim town manager thought that might have been excessive. His thought was maybe just do some crack sealing and maybe just take care of certain areas that, where we know the road's falling apart pretty bad. Just patch those up. And we estimated that at $50,000.
And that's only for the North Cemetery, correct?
Only north.
Right.
Yes. Right now, I'm not seeing that on the latest capital list. I don't see that on the list. So I don't know where that money would come from.
It's my understanding, what I was told, is that that is coming out of the capital planning. Again, I may not have the true number there. That's why I'm not stating any numbers, because I may not have the corrected list. But what I was told, it were 2 items, and 2 of them were, one was for the cemetery road work repairs at North Cemetery, and the other one, like I said, was the North Cemetery expansion.
Okay, hopefully it makes it, yeah. What I'm seeing, it's not there, but it's not finalized yet, so we don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Any more discussion on that, Mike? Is there anything?
If it doesn't go through, you think that the cost just for patching is going to be 50?
If we do crack sealing and patching, probably. If we limit the patching,
Right.
to
I
the
know
really
there's-
bad areas, we can keep the cost much lower.
I know when you go into the park where the parking lot is, and you make that curve, that's the
Yeah.
worst of
Right,
the whole area.
right.
So you could do it in phases. If you had it, you could do the first phase now, and then by fall, maybe, and then by then, if there wasn't enough, then the cemetery commission can make a decision if they want to help that process.
Okay, but normally that would come out of your budget, right? Maintenance of the roadway.
Could come out of yours, could come out of mine, yeah. Yeah. Let's see why not.
Okay. I thought there was maintenance, but, okay. Okay, we'll work it out.
Mike, is there anything more you'd like to say?
On the roads?
Yep.
No.
No, okay.
I think we have time, right? It's to address them.
Okay. So with that being said, I'd like to make a motion again to accept again from the capital planning that they will be moving forward with the cemetery road network repairs. That was the wording that I was given, so that's what I'm going with
Of North Cemetery?
for the North Cemetery. Anybody would like to second it?
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. And we thank the capital planning for, having them do their work and putting this together and helping the town with some of their projects that they've been so graciously to help out with. Before we go to the next piece, is there anything else that we need to discuss? Is there anything on your side, Mike?
Are we just going to the future meeting schedule?
No, we're going to go, and we'll go to the public comment.
Oh,
So
okay.
is there anything else, right before we go to public comment, is there anything else?
No.
I didn't have a lot on for today, so. Is there anything you'd like to discuss?
Nope, nothing further.
Okay, all right. All right, let's open it up to, is there any public comment from our cemetery commission? Anything needs to be said?
Not at the moment.
I have one comment, not related to cemeteries, but I'm trying to get the word out that the Flat Hill Bridge over the Catacoonamung Brook, that work is starting, I believe, next Friday. The road will be closed, there will be detour signs, and it will be closed until the end of April. So I'm trying to get the word out, so thank you for allowing me to put that out.
No, and I wanted to thank you for whoever's putting it up on Facebook and how you're doing it. I think that was great. It popped up the other day. Oh, this is great. All right, so you see that. So I think that's a step in the right direction, very positive. I would like to take one thing, and I would like to say thank you to Julie yesterday and also Jennifer behind the scenes. I know that putting this webinar together by the state level, I think that was awesome. I think we had X amount of people that came to it, and it was to go over open meeting law information. I think it was informative. I believe that it's going to be up so that people that couldn't get there can go in and they can review it, listen to it. So I'd just like to thank you to the town and for putting that together. That was awesome. Okay.
One last thing,
Oh.
Fish Street, can we at least figure out when this year we can start that going?
I think that's a future project again. It needs to be talked about again at the cemetery commission to see, yes, I agree.
I mean, it's been going on for 3 years that I know of.
Right. Has there been any more information than what we had prior?
Nothing new.
Nothing that's come to you?
No.
Did you get a sketch from, what was it?
Richard?
Richard?
I have nothing recently, yeah, way back.
I know
A couple of years ago,
when he was at the meeting, he gave
Yeah.
a brief sketch
yeah.
of what it's going to look like, but where does it go from there? Do we have to have it plotted out? Do we have to? do we have
Yes.
to tell us some
There has to
more?
be a project put together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And how much, again, from my understanding, is exactly what it goes out to for bidding and X amount of dollars,
does
meaning the
that fall
rocks.
under you, or does that fall under us to get a hold of?
Well, we definitely need to work together on this project, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll have to pick it up again, definitely.
So you can put that on your list too for that.
Yeah.
for
So
next-
we know the skirt, the electricity, or for the lights, and then I would say
Fish Street.
Fish Street would be obviously the expansion and all of that, and then the Fish Street also
Okay.
needs to be tied into that somewhere. The top priorities,
Yeah.
I guess, that's the word. And then the different phases of getting it done.
I just wanna
Pull
set
together
this
what
up.
was said to date at meetings. Richard did present what he was doing and his plan
Yeah.
and cost. I guess he did say he didn't have the exact costs
Right.
on rock material and stuff, but he had it. He just didn't have it current.
Well, I think there was a point of where he's going to get the rocks from.
Right,
Yeah.
right, and then the rock
And then
source.
the interim town manager was talking about, was that company okay to use?
Yes, yes.
You know,
Right. It has to
So-
go through.
I just want to make sure that now, even though it's toward the end of winter, I want to get the projects going so we don't wait till September to say, okay, let's talk about it now. I'd like to talk about it now while it's still a little winter, so we can start May or April or whatever to get this
Yeah.
thing going.
Agreed, yeah.
Okay. So by the next meeting, we should know a little bit more.
I will do some more research on it, yeah, definitely.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, anything else? Anything with you, Mike?
No, I'm
Nope.
good.
Okay.
I just look forward
Okay.
to another
All right.
year
All right.
working with Bill.
Is there any public comments?
Good morning, everyone. John Bowen, 162 Highland Street. I'm actually, just something that came up outside of that I wanted to discuss. The Capital Planning Committee met on November 4th, and you weren't even on that agenda of which they published. So I'm trying to figure out where you're getting the money to make a vote, and you're sitting there guessing whether or not the capital plan is going to honor your request when we have hundreds of thousands of dollars for DPW, fire, and police, which already have given a presentation to the Select Board and the Finance Committee, so I'm concerned. In any case, I plan to touch upon 3 issues regarding warrant articles proposed by this commission today. This is another grab attempt by this commission to get hard-earned dollars from the taxpayers without a plan. Let's talk about the expenses of money you have already had control since 2020. I see nothing but waste. There is grass cutting for beautification purposes in the amount of somewhere around $7,500 the last 2 years. We give you $10,000. Foam boards for a foolish wall project. Printer ink, lights for flagpoles that are a temporary solution to a long-term need. Payment for a license for the Rainmaker program, which contains vital records such as Social Security numbers, DD-214's cause of death, all because you want to exercise somehow this board has power. Well, the power is with the people. It is not with you. You will soon be doing what you are supposed to do. I can promise you that, because as I speak to you today, I have asked for a motion with a warrant article that I had submitted, okay, of which we will rein in that if you do not have a plan, you get no money. And unless you have a plan, a concrete plan and a financial plan, no money will be given to you. And I just wanted to let you know that also, with regard to that warrant article, your board has basically done nothing. This warrant article will straighten you out. A parking lot that you paid, that was paid for by the state, built by the cemetery, not built by the cemetery, but the cemetery building. This was all plans of William Tyler and Lance May, not of this board. What have you done? Nothing. This is your nothing. Last year, nothing. The year before, nothing. You've been gone for 4 months in the last year, because you weren't here, but you had a quorum, and you could have held a board meeting, but you didn't, Ms. Chair. The people have given you stewardship, okay, but you failed. This stops here with us. There is no plan. There is no money. Tipping you off, okay, topping it off, you have $90,000 at your disposal, but you want to ask the capital plan for money? That's pathetic. But no one should let you use it without a written plan and approved by the people. Second, you created rules and regulations you cannot financially comply with now selling plots for $1,600, and you haven't the money to maintain them. Your own rules and regulations you cannot even comply with financially. A change you made without a financial study, without collaboration with the DPW on those changes, we the people will promise that we will take that away from you. Lastly, show this town a plan. Show this town a future. Respect our dead, because you've insulted them. You do not have a plan. You haven't had a plan since you've been on this commission, particularly you, Ms. Yasko, and Mr. Doran. The only true answer to the problem is a mutual benefit cemetery corporation. Moving the Cemetery Commission under the Conservation Commission with a member to be approved to the Historical Commission, Green Community.
3 minutes are up. Thank you.
Will we be able to offer, okay, and be able to afford $1.6 million in needs to respect our dead?
3 minutes are up,
I won't break down the $1.6 million, but if you
Would we
spoke,
like to keep going?
DPW will appropriately know the numbers, but you don't want to get the numbers from them. And I knew you were going to cut me off, and that's why I continued.
meeting-
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Board.
Scheduled for March 27th?
Yes, the next meeting is scheduled for March 27th.
Okay.
I just want to make one comment, and that comment is directly from these information that I have regarding the capital planning, and the information that I have came directly from the new manager here in the town, and it was put into information to me. So the information that I have, again, for the Cemetery Commission is exactly from the town manager herself. So, and we'll leave it with that. And thank you, Mr. Bowen, for your comments. So, all right, let's make a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn. Next meeting, March 27th.
I second it.
All right, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.